and welcome to the Autocar show. Now, if you're in the market for a diesel sedan,
say around in the 10 lakh rupee range,
yeah, it can get really very confusing.
Very confusing.
When it comes to diesel sedans, these are the 5 cars that you would be looking at. Well, in the diesel brigade, you could always go for the hot-looking, well-handling Fiat Linea.
Or how about this? The very solid, the very German Volkswagen Vento.
Or you could go for the tried and tested Maruti Suzuki SX4.
Or you could go for Hyundai's spanking new, fluidic Verna.
Or the latest addition to the bunch, the smartly styled new Ford Fiesta. Clearly, the choices are mind-boggling. How exactly would you pick from amongst these? So on the surface of it all, the Vento a bit German, too sensible and safe in its design. The SX4 smart, but nothing that would turn heads. The new Fiesta quite sharp in its looks and will get the eyeballs for sure, but if we're talking about the handsomest, then it has to come down to the Linea and Verna. The Linea is still a smart-looking car with all the angle cuts and curves and those slick headlamps, but I think if I had to really pick a winner, it would be the fluidic Verna that's just fresher, newer and eye-catching too. Now on the inside, the SX4 has a great seating position, and with the glass area at the A-pillar, it gets a very airy feeling. Though it's well equipped and the dash is neat with a little bit of flair in the chrome accents, overall the plastic quality looks and feels a little lower than the rest. When you enter the Vento, the first thoughts are, where's the equipment? There's no steering mounted controls, no USB, no aux, no Bluetooth. Though it does offer reach and rake adjustable steering. The dash too looks a little staid and plain Jane. What we did like was the quality. It all felt top-notch. The Linea, like all the rest, doesn't have reach and adjustable steering, and because of the pedal position as well, the seating for the driver feels a little skewed. It's very well equipped, but sadly the whole interior doesn't give you the feel you'd like in a sedan of this class, and the fit and finish really let it down. The Verna comes with good build and top quality plastics. The front dash follows the fluidic design language and looks quite modern. I didn't like the wood finish plastic, which was the only letdown for me, a little too shiny and made it look cheap. But overall, it's a nice cabin with an airy and spacious feel. The icing on the cake is really the long list of features. The Fiesta's list of equipment is pretty darn impressive too, but some of it is really fluff stuff. The dash is quite futuristic compared to the previous Fiesta, and the swept-back sides open out quite a lot of space in front. However, the interesting look is really let down by lack of quality. The lower part of the dash actually feels like it's out of a Maruti 800, and the glossy central console is a bit tacky too. Well, it's time to get out and hit the road. Both the Linea and the SX4 feature Fiat's 1.3-litre multi-jet engine. Now Maruti has tweaked the gearing and the engine tuning to suit its car. Power output on both is an identical 90 bhp. The Fiesta comes in with a 1.5-litre diesel motor that has been uprated from the 1.4 TDCi motor. However, the Vento and the Verna have the highest displacement with 1.6-litre motors each. The Vento manages to generate 105 bhp, whilst the Verna manages an astonishing 126 bhp. Push the Verna to the very limit and it will give you the best flat-out acceleration. The Vento keeps up till about 60 but loses out by a second to the 100 mark. A strong mid-range in the Vento gives it great acceleration figures, ensuring that overtaking in this car is really easy. The Fiesta and the SX4 are around 3 seconds slower to 100, and it's really the Linea that's the turtle of the bunch in the 0 to 100 race. But flat-out acceleration or power figures are not what determine everyday driving. When we looked at the in-gear acceleration figures, it was the Vento that came out the best from 20 to 80 in 3rd or 40 to 100 in 4th. But the delivery of powers is a bit peaky and the clutch a little springy, which makes it difficult to drive in the city. Now surprisingly, it's the slowpoke Linea that actually ties in with the SX4 for 2nd in the in-gear figures. The Verna comes in 3rd with the Fiesta coming in last. But when we drove it out on the road, it was the Verna's linear power delivery that made it the most drivable of the lot.
The Verna's power delivery is very linear, so what happens is even at low speeds in the city, it's very easy to modulate. And when you want to go quick out on the highway, you can do that too.
When you get into the Fiesta and drive it back to back with the rest, you realize the difference in power. This car has a bit of lag, it doesn't kick in till over 1800 RPM. You have to really work the gears to use this engine well and keep it in its power band. It's not a bad thing because the gear shift is quite positive, but it feels like when you drive it compared to the rest, it feels like in olden days, when you had carbureted engines and the air filter used to choke up, it actually feels like that. It feels like something's holding this back. It doesn't have the punch that the rest have. What it does have, and in good measures over the rest, is refinement. It's not only refinement we're talking about. The Fiesta's stiff body also provides the best insulation from engine, road, suspension and tire noise. The other car that comes really close is the Verna. The Vento is clearly the noisiest of this lot. Well, the Verna looks like it's notching up quite a few points. Will the Fiesta be able to claw back and get ahead of the Verna?